Hello everyone, it's Catherine here from Inky Fingered Cat. I will be sticking you into fast forward and doing a voiceover, but I thought I'd just introduce the video first. In my PJs, got my cup of coffee, definitely not going on camera, just saying. So grabbed 4 more random papers from the stash. I actually have a feeling these were all from a similar pack. So they do seem to coordinate really well. So I do think that they're from the same supplier. Who those are, no idea anymore. Must have been a pack I bought at some point. I don't know, many years ago anyway. So I have popped out 3 photos. These were full 6x4 photos, but I wanted to scrap all 3 of them on the same page, and I don't do double layout, so hence I chopped them down. But I think these work quite well, really. Pictures of my hubby and my daughter from when we were in Oxford last year. I went to Oxford for a couple of days. So yes, I've got 2 yellow theme papers with the grey in there. This has got a mix of the colours, but it's definitely got the yellow and the grey. And then it's got a bit of teal, and I thought some bits of this very, very pattern paper, but used sparingly, would probably work quite well. Then I have joined, because I am completely obsessed with scrapbooking at the moment, Christy's Beautiful Life 30 Days of Sketches Facebook group. They did one of these 30 days things. I am never going to do 30 days worth of sketches, like one every day. That's never going to happen in my normal life. I have too much work and other things going on to do that. But they did one in March. I think they've got one coming up in June. But whether I'll join in, do all 30 sketches or not, I've no idea. But I just printed off the PDF. So I'm going to have a little look through this and see if I can find a sketch that I think will work. Quite liking that, actually. That's quite interesting. I also quite like that with the circle, but I'm not sure if I want to do circle or not. I'm sure I'll find one to play with. Anyway, I'm going to find a sketch. I'll explain which sketch I'm doing, and then I'll crack on. I have still got some bits and pieces on the desk from the last lot of scrapbooking that I did. Hang on, let me grab them. So these were the scraps left over from those other pages that I did. Literally some tiny scraps, some numbers, and a few of the 3x4 cutter parts. So might get those included in this, just because some of the colours look like they'll work, and just to get them off the desk, really. Okay, see you in a minute. Hello, voiceover Catherine here. So I chose the first sketch, actually. I decided to just go in order. Seemed like a sensible option. So day 1 sketch was created by someone called Ginger Bush. Don't know who Ginger is, but yeah, it had got 3 photos on it going down the right hand side. It had got a title on the left hand side, and quite a large journaling patch, and then some arrows coming in from the left hand side. So I started by mounting those photographs, and now I'm just pulling in papers, bits and pieces of the pattern papers that I'd chosen, those little bits of scraps that were left over, and I'm just sort of trying to work out how to do it. I did decide to mount the pictures with a gap between the second and the third one, just so that I knew I could put a nice little embellishment cluster. I'm saying an embellishment cluster, it's just basically scraps and bits and pieces of paper that I've just built up. It's a little bit art journal-y, or no, junk journal-y style, if I'm honest. I think that's what it kind of reminds me of. Anyway, I've sort of decided on my layout, but on the left-hand side of the sketch, it has got these sort of arrows coming in from the left-hand side. So I decided to go and get that gorgeous grunge stamp out and just stamp all the way along the edge, at different lengths, and I kept alternating, so turning the stamp so that it wasn't exactly the same. And then I grabbed my black gesso and splattered that. And I think that works. I am going to use the arrow as a different kind of thought pattern as I was going through this, because there were some arrows on that very pattern, sort of cartoony type sketchbooky paper. But now I'm just going to start pulling together and actually gluing down these sort of like strips, panels, clusters. So first of all, started with my photo panel, and then this is where I suddenly realised, oh, there's arrows in there. I could use those as embellishments. So this is the journaling panel, and I am just going to stick those pieces down. I am distressing all the edges because it feels like it's that kind of page that wants a distressy edge. And now this is me creating the larger of the embellishment clusters. So I always count things in 3s or 5s, well, odd numbers basically, when I'm doing scrapbooking or card making and my layouts. So at this point I think, oh right, I need 3 different kind of clusters. So there's the large one that's going to go between those 2 photographs that are separated. Then I'm going to want a smaller cluster to go between the top 2 photographs, and then my journaling cluster will be my 3rd one. So that's what's going through my head as I'm creating these, and I'm literally just pulling bits and pieces of scraps, distressing them, gluing them. There's not much thought process goes on behind it. I do end up changing a few of them as I stick them onto the layout, but yeah. And then I've spotted the arrows and I've started cutting those out so that they're fussy cut to the left. I say fussy cut, they're not very fussily cut. But this is me then just trying to pop it all together, and I'm really happy with this. I decided that first one was a little bit too deep. There was too many layers to it, so I took one layer off. And the larger one, I actually just tore the end on the right-hand side off so it didn't go all the way across because it just felt like it wasn't quite right. But yeah, this is me sticking it down. And now I'm using that big piece of paper and I'm cutting bits and pieces out where I think that would be really nice. Now, that pink one annoys me because when I look back at it a little bit later on in this layout, I suddenly think there's no other pink on this entire page. It looks a bit odd. So I do end up putting another piece over the top of that pink. But yeah, I'm just cutting bits and pieces out, adding them to the page. So there's things like ones that say love, things that say enjoy, just random stuff. And now I've decided to do my journaling. It's quite a large block, so I've hand drawn some lines to give me a little bit of a guide to write along. Don't really know what I'm going to write, but I talk about the fact that this is a good pit stop for when we were exploring Oxford. And that ended up being the title of the page, was Pit Stop. So just grabbed some letters there and added those. Now, you've seen this on other layouts if you've watched other videos. I have a big sheet of printed alphas that I did in little boxes, and I just cut those out and add them on when I want just small parts of the title. I've got loads and loads of sheets of this in different fonts. And now I'm adding in all those arrows and they become my embellishments. I decide, apart from some gems, oh, this is where I'm covering that pink bit up because it doesn't completely get covered, but it mainly gets covered because it just didn't look right. But yeah, I decided apart from these gems, I'm not going to add any other embellishments, no other stickers. This is going to call it done. So I'm really happy with how it looks. I think it's in keeping with the sketch. So I hope you enjoyed that. Please do give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed. Leave me a comment below if you liked the page or what you liked about the page. And please do subscribe if you want to see more content. I advise hitting the notification bell because although I've done a lot of videos recently, I'm not particularly on a routine. So it's probably wise to hit that notification bell so you get informed when a new video is up. But until next time, bye-bye.